Goa cops are going to be taking the custody of the Luthra brothers soon, is what we're hearing at this point in time. That's the story we are breaking at this hour, where the nightclub owners who've now been detained in Thailand will soon be arrested by the police. They will soon be taking custody of the Luthra brothers. That's the information that we have with us at this point in time. They've been detained in Thailand earlier today and soon will be brought back to the country. That's what we're learning at this hour. We've been confirmed, in fact, we confirmed this information on how they will be eventually brought back to the country. The Goa Police traveling to Phuket, and they will be taking custody of the Luthra brothers soon. All right, let's give you an idea about what sort of action has been taken in the last 1 week or so, actually less than that, ever since the fire broke out. 7 big steps taken against the Luthras. Luthra brothers' passports were suspended. Also, there was a blue corner notice against the Luthras. Action number 3, Birch Club was completely demolished. The court denied interim relief to the Luthras. Also, we do know that an FIR was filed for culpable homicide. So this wasn't an accident. This was culpable homicide amounting to murder. That's what the police have said. And in that direction, the case is getting investigated. A magisterial probe also ordered by the Chief Minister of Goa. And safety lapses are now getting investigated very thoroughly. Luthra brothers continue to be in Phuket, but very soon they'll be brought back to the country, is what we are learning. The Goa Police on its way to Thailand to in fact arrest the Luthra brothers, Saurav and Gaurav Luthra. Remember, the two men on your screens at this point in time are the owners of the Birch Nightclub in Goa that caught fire, killing 25 people. Lapses have been reported as far as fire safety norms, various violations on the part of the owners of the Birch Nightclub. And perhaps that's the reason why, sensing deep trouble, they fled the country 5 hours after the fire broke out, killing 25 people, tourists and staff including. Divyesh continues to be with us. Divyesh, Goa cops to soon travel to Phuket to take custody of the Luthras. What else are you picking up?
Well, sources are telling us
Yes.
that authorities from India could travel to Phuket and take custody of the Luthra brothers from the Thai authorities who detained them right now, and then they'll be brought back to the country. They'll be arrested formally by the Goa Police, and once they are arrested, they'll be produced in court, and then the police will be seeking their custody to interrogate them, to find out more details about how they were functioning, like so many illegalities. They had no trade license, they had no permits, they had no bar license, they had no food license, they had technically they had no licenses at all. But despite that, they were running this club. There were multiple complaints against the club. There were multiple authorities, there were multiple activists who had raised issues regarding the same club. On 4th of November, there was a legal notice issued to all the government authorities and the club itself that there could be danger to the patrons, to the customers visiting the club. But despite that, all of it fell on deaf ears. This incident happened on December 6th, and it has now claimed 25 innocent lives. 25 lives have been lost. But after that, what kind of functioning, like how the Luthra brothers managed that kind of clout, who was helping them, who was protecting them, what kind of influence did they have in Goa, because they were running multiple clubs in Goa, and all like in the other clubs also there were multiple illegalities. But despite that, they did not fear anyone, they did not fear the law, they did not fear the authorities, and they were functioning unscathed, they were untouchable, and there was no action being taken till these 25 lives were lost. Remember, 25 lives were lost, and that is why they've been booked. They've been made the prime accused in this case, and now authorities have, with the help of Thai authorities, detained them, and they could be soon brought back to the country where they'll face the law. Sneha.
Divyesh, getting in those details at this point in time to tell our viewers, these are the two brothers who were the owners of the club that caught fire. You know, Divyesh, you did mention about various lapses. Take our viewers through them, you know, including safety norms, Divyesh, that were continuously flouted. You did mention that there were, in fact, reports of several complaints against this nightclub, this particular nightclub as well.
Well, the complaints were like of civil nature as well as of criminal nature. So they had no noise pollution permits from the pollution control board. They had constructed the club in a salt pan land. So it was a water body and they had made illegal constructions over there. Now, other than that, there were no fire safety precautions. There were fire safety norms and regulations were completely flouted. The safety norms were completely flouted. There was a basement which was constructed which had water on all its sides but had no entry or exit. The entry and exit from the basement was just to the top floor where the performance was happening, where the patrons were there, where the customers were there, where the dance performance was happening. It had just one way out, that was upstairs to the first floor. But people who were working inside, remember there was a staff room inside, there was a kitchen inside, there was a changing room downstairs in the basement. So people, there were 23 staffers who were like 23 people who suffocated to death. They were not burned to death, they were not charred to death. Only 2 bodies were charred, but 23 bodies were found intact. What happened to them? They suffocated to death because of the smoke
All
and they
right.
could not get out. There was no exit, there was no place for
There were no
them to
fire
go, and
safety
they
exits,
were
and
just
these were
like they
norms
were
that were constantly flouted. I'm going to leave it at that for the moment. Divyesh, do continue to be with us.